morning. Beautiful day. Nice crisp fall morning. It's a good day. Have you ever not noticed how much you need something until you lose it? Well, I didn't lose it, but my wife was on a women's weekend, and I do not have my robe today. My son-in-law was ordained yesterday. I got a chance to speak at that, which was really cool. And then the bishop spoke, and it really unnerved me. So who knows how this is going to go today. But I will not be wearing my robe, sorry. We had a fall cleanup on Saturday, and we had more people show up to help clean than I think we've ever had. 18 people. And we had 16 donuts. No, I'm kidding. I don't know how many we had. We counted it half. It all worked out. All right, a couple of announcements here.
Good morning again. I want to say thanks for helping clean out the garden. It looks really good. I just want to give you a quick report. I'm going to put this on the bulletin board if you want to look at it, but just to run through a list of vegetables we grew this year. We had lettuce, dinosaur kale, purple kale, bush beans, vine beans, tomatoes, yellow squash, corn, okra, bok choy, cucumbers, habaneros, and carrots. So that's quite a bit. Our top producers were the tomatoes. We ended up with almost 110 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Our next producer were the beans, and we had, if you combine the bush beans and the vine beans, almost 50 pounds of string beans. Now think of carrying two 20-pound bags of ice, but filled with beans instead. So it was quite a bit. The okra was fun to grow. If you haven't grown it before, it has beautiful blossoms on it. It's real simple to take care of. It was also 6 foot tall with me. So overall, by the time it was all done, we ended up with 221 pounds of vegetables. And Joe helped us cost this out a little bit, about $550. We donated all of this to Project Concern, and I can tell you they're very, very grateful. It's nice because it goes beyond what Hunger Task Force Farm gives us. They tend to give us everything at once. They harvest everything at one time, and we tend to spread out our giving. So they're very appreciative. I get to talk about this on Monday during our board meeting. So thanks so much, everybody, for helping this year.
So I was going to talk about the cleanup people, but that's already been done. But again, thank you. I mean, it was just amazing how many people came and how quick the work went. Pretty soon we have Youth Fest coming up, and we hope to do like a cookie sale to raise money, and the money will go to church. And Krista has a volunteer to kind of coordinate it. She's not doing the baking. That's what we're going to do. And so if you can bake, let her know, just so we can kind of have an idea of how many people are willing to help out. So I'm telling you now so you can think about it. You don't have to make a lot. A dozen cookies is fine. And every little bit helps. And let's see. After service, we have our meal to honor the veterans. So that will be, like I said, after service. Make sure that you let those veterans go first in line. I mean, it is to honor them. So make sure they are first. Also, I have this wonderful sheet for shoveling snow, which we were reminded of today. If you can help, please pick a date, put your name down, and you only have to do the week, and you can hope for no snow. You know, Brandon has not been so lucky. He always picks the snowiest week, so if you see his name, stay away from it. And I think that's it. Thank you.
You call it the snow shoveling lottery. Did I hear you right? You only have to bring a dozen cookies?
Yeah, if you're making, you don't, if you want to make more.
Why would you of baking and cleaning up and have a dozen cookies.
Well, there you go. I didn't want to push anybody away, but I'm sure everybody else can. So they should know cookies, and it's also a real busy time, and not everyone has a chance to bake. So if they can buy a plate of cookies and serve it up and pretend they
I'm gonna go home and make a dozen cookies, said no one ever. All right.
I do that.
Please stand.
The first reading is from Amos, chapter 1, and from chapter 5. The words of Amos, who was among the shepherds of Tekoa, which he saw concerning Israel in the days of King Uzziah of Judah, and in the days of King Jeroboam, son of Joash of Israel, 2 years before the earthquake. And he said, "The Lord roars from Zion, and utters his voice from Jerusalem. The pastures of the shepherds wither, and the top of Carmel dries up. Seek good and not evil, that you may live, and so the Lord, the God of hosts, will be with you, just as you have said. Hate evil and love good, and establish justice in the gate. It may be that the Lord, the God of hosts, will be gracious to the remnant of Joseph. I despise your festivals, and I take no delight in your solemn assemblies. Even though you offer me your burnt offerings and grain offerings, I will not accept them, and the offerings of well-being of your fatted animals I will not look upon. Take away from me the noise of your songs. I will not listen to the melody of your harps. But let justice roll down like waters, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream." The word of the Lord.
The Holy Gospel according to John.
Glory to you, Lord.
On the last day of the festival, the great day, while Jesus was standing there, he cried out, "Let anyone who is thirsty come to me, and let anyone who believes in me drink. As the scriptures have said, out of the believer's heart shall flow rivers of living water." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
I had a professor at seminary who said, if you like the book of Amos, you do not understand it. Amos is something else. He lays it out there. The role of the prophet, contrary to what we might think, is not to predict the future, but to make the future happen. To confront the powers that be, to make a better way forward. Prophets are not always liked. Most of the time they're killed. It says that Amos was a shepherd from Tekoa. And he writes 2 years before the earthquake. So we put this not long after the northern tribes and the southern tribes split. Just before the Civil War. Imagine Amos, a shepherd from the southern tribe of Judah, going to the northern tribes to tell them they're not quite getting it right. This is what God is telling you. Imagine if somebody from the north went down to the south in the United States around the time of the Civil War and said, look, you guys are doing it wrong. Or what if someone from the Republican Party came to the Democratic National Convention to tell them how wrong you are? Oh wait, that already happens. But it doesn't work. Speaking to people and telling them they're wrong really is only effective when you do it to people who love you and trust you. He says, the Lord howls from Judah, and the shepherds at Mount Carmel are bare. That's code language. It's very offensive. The shepherd, the pastures for the sheep is meant to be the king. And the king's people are his sheep, and they are suffering. We don't know what happened to Amos, or if the North ever even heard his. All we have is the message. I went to my son-in-law ordination last night. My daughter Grace married Wade Revere, and he had his ordination at Lutherdale Bible Camp. And the bishop of the South Central Synod was there. And she gave a sermon. That's pretty nice, very comforting. And she talked about what it means to be a pastor. And that was all very nice. I don't know how much it moved the needle for anybody in which way. Maybe at ordinations you're just supposed to say something nice. And you get to the coffee and punch later. But I recall reading from a guy named Walter Brueggemann, a saying that he said that to be a pastor is to be a prophet and a priest. A priest is one who helps you when you're hurting. The priest is one who holds things together. I know we don't always think of that when we think of priests. Maybe pastor is a better word. To be pastoral means to comfort those who are afflicted. But Walter Brueggemann says a pastor also needs to afflict the comfortable. That was missing last night. I mean, maybe for good reason. It is an ordination. So I thought, what about us? I like to be liked. So I don't often and say things controversial or things that I think you're doing wrong. Who am I to say things like that? But rather than tell you all the nifty things about Amos, maybe I will try to be a prophet. Dead silence. If you're going to tell people the truth, you have to make them laugh first. That's my go-to idea. I think we've all been sold down the river in one particular area. We've allowed our personal, partisan politics to come before our relationship with God. We see God on our side. We see people who don't look like us or think like us as somehow the enemy. You know what a bridge is? It's something that connects two places and people walk all over it. I think God calls us to be a bridge in our world. If you only watch Fox News or you only watch MSNBC or what other liberal news broadcast, you are part of the problem. We're in the worst shape in the history of our country since the Civil War, our democracy, because people can't understand the other. They don't listen. They like what they like. They know what they know. I'm right, they're wrong. And the politicians on both sides benefit. We don't have to hold them accountable for not paying people, for shutting the government down, because we can blame the other side. They love that. And all the people who put them in office believe them in pointing at their opponents. We need to be smarter than that. We need to see ourselves first as Christians, then as whatever political party you belong to. There's plenty of way to go around. There's not one right group and one wrong group. But we've decided that more important than treating people justly is winning. Amos came and said, "Let justice roll down like water, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream."